Hi, Dave with DirtyLandscaper.com here. I'm going to do a real quick video and show you how simple it is to put some brick edging around a tree. As you can see, I have a small tree here. I've already kind of worked it out with the homeowner of where he wants it as far as how far out. Now you can see what I did is I took a rope, any kind of string will work, wire will work. I tried it on the tree in a loop so that I can use it as my circumference or my diameter marker. I've taken some marking paint here and you watch what I do. As you can see, we came up with a perfect circle, which we'll cut out now and start laying the brick edge. So now I want to show you what I've done. I marked it out. Now I'm going along with a nice straight spade. As you can see, I'm following my orange line. Now I put my foot behind it as I pull up so it keeps it together. And I'm just going down with my spade about 3-4 inches. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start scraping for my brick. Now right now I'm just going to flip it on the inside out of my way so I can show you for the video purposes of what I'm talking about. As you can see, I have a nice smooth transition line there. I'll clean it up a little where I need to. But what I'm going to show you here more than anything is proper depth for doing a brick edge. So it should be enough to show you. Now what I'll do is I'll put a little sand in there and then I'll put some mortar in there and then I'll lay my bricks. But you can see I've got some room. It's below the grade. That way a lawnmower will be able to run it over. Now I will put sand underneath that and then I'll put a little mortar and mortar it in. This is kind of how it's going to look. I'm scraping the grass out of here. A lot of homeowners are like, well, I don't have anything to, anywhere to put that old debris or that old grass. Well, looky here. Right next door, I have a fence, and you can see the water's running down the hill, down along here. And so I'm throwing the extra grass chunks right here. So, this customer's getting a bonus out of this. She would have to go buy topsoil, buy sod. I'm scraping grass and sod out of my brick edge job here. So we're killing two birds with one stone here. We're going to throw this old debris and grass that we're scraping out of here and toss it in there and kind of pack it in and save her a little bit of money. But what I'm trying to get the point to is that if you're a homeowner and you've got a nice beautiful yard like we've created for her back here over the years, and you don't have anywhere to get rid of it at, look around. Maybe there's a washout spot where an old stump is. Or maybe an area where it's hard to grow grass because of a shade from a tree. You can always throw some extra topsoil down there. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to put a little layer of sand in there. Now the sand, what it does is it gives us a leveling agent. It's going to help level it off. Plus it helps the freeze thaw underneath it. And then I'll show you what we're going to do next. So we got a little layer of sand. And as you can see, we're still down in the ground below the grass level. So the next thing what we'll do is we'll get our mason cement mix or mortar mix or pre-ready mix, whatever you want to use. We do use a ratio of 2 parts equal washed mason sand to mason cement. Okay, so we showed you how to cut out your edge. We showed you to add a little sand. As you can tell, I've got it all prepped with sand. Now I've mixed up and added water to my mortar mix here. You can see it's ready to go. Now I'll just kind of show you a few tips on laying the brick edges. I've got this mix all ready. You can see we call it mud. It's kind of at oatmeal consistency. Again, there's lots of different formulas you can do for it, but I use a 2-to-1 mason sand to mortar. Again, I'll just show you a few here. I'm going to put a little bit of mortar in the trench ahead of time. Then I'm going to lay it, and I'll just kind of show you, and then we'll show you the finished product at the end. Trowel, rubber mallet, and it's okay if you get a little dirt in there. And again, you're not trying to level this perfectly to the world. We're on a slope here. We're trying to make it just level and look halfway consistent to the edging and the grass. So see I tap that in. And again, I want to get it level this way. I use the naked eye. Every once in a while I'll get a level out if I think I'm off, but I can usually tell pretty quick. And again, I'm following my pre-cut out hole here so that I get some consistency so it looks like a nice circle. Again, it's hard to make a circle out of rectangular bricks. And again, we don't fill these joints. They'll fill on their own with dirt or grass. And again, you can fill them if you want. If you want, you take that and tap it in there. Now, what we're gonna do here is we're gonna just keep dragging this extra mortar down. And this is called back facing. And what we're doing is if you look at that, we're taking the mud and back facing it, and we're dragging the other extra out of there. And again, I don't want to see this. This is going to get covered with mulch. Don't get focused on trying to lay one brick at a time. If you do that, you'll be here all day. What I do is I typically lay 3 or 4 at a time, and I take what I call a straight edge, or in this case, it's a level. And then I can tell that I've you know, for the most part, you can't see any air under there except for maybe right here on this one. And then all 3 of them are laying right closely on top of each other. Again, watch how quick I can lay 3 more bricks. If you focus on one, you'll be here all day. And if that's the case, you might want to leave it to a professional company to install it for you. But you can see how quickly these are laying. And I just keep tweaking a few at a time. I'm not focusing on one particular one. You can see my consistency of my mud is just soft enough and just wet enough. That's a key to the whole laying of the bricks. And again, now maybe I got this one down a little low. Watch how I fix it. And I'll bring it back down to my average of what these 2 are running at. And look how quickly that comes back together. As you can see, I'm kind of trying to keep some kind of consistency. Here's a little dip where it washed out, but here we're basically flush. Now those haven't been laid yet, but we're flush with the grass so that you can run your mower wheel. We'll add a little topsoil here because there's a big dip. But let me lay one more. I'll back flush it. All that extra, I'll take it and throw it in the bottom of my trench because it'll still make good mortar mix. It's just got a little more sand in it and dirt in it right now, but it won't hurt anything. Now I'm starting to go up the hill. You can see how I'm tweaking all those as I go. Now I keep going back. I go back and double check them because as I lay more and more, some of them don't look quite as good to the average. See how I changed that one a little? Now I'm changing that one a little. And a circle's much harder to do than a straight edge is. Now, obviously, we'll come back and I'll show you the finished product. But I wanted to kind of give you a couple quick tips on watching me lay a few bricks and see if you could get the hang of it so you could do this kind of a project for yourself. Okay, so as you can tell, I've got my brick all laid out. Well, I'm not a calculus major, I'm a landscaper, and so again, I didn't do all the mathematics and I could have probably made this come out exactly, but you can see I got a little dilemma here, I got a little spot here where I'm missing a stone. So I'm gonna just show you what I do. I have my Milwaukee Fuel M18 and I've got a diamond tip blade. I've got my brick pre-marked and I already kind of pre-did it. I'll take a chisel and I'll finish it and then I'll lay my last piece in there and we'll pretty much be done. We'll pull our mulch down, but I hope this video helps you, shows you how to do brick edging, how you can do your own projects around the house. You know, remember to like us, subscribe to us, share us. Check out our YouTube videos at dirtylandscaper.com all the time, because there's always new ones. Send us comments, which ones you would like us to do for future. Just check us out, and hopefully you'll like us. Thanks for watching.